Welcome to the Project 8 podcast. I'm your host, Steve Mann. If you like the content, you can follow us on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter. If you are a upcoming artist or, a solo, um, or have a band, get in contact with me on Facebook or www.project8podcast.com, or you can email me at info at project8podcast.com. Normally I'd say, okay, if you'd like to donate. But today, I'm focusing this on uh, Hawaii and them folks with the devastation there. So you see a QR code on the screen. That is from GoFundMe, and that is started by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Uh, and Will Kane, I believe. I just checked it. They their goal is 2 million to help out those people down there. They've already raised 1.8 million, um, from what I gather. So we're reaching their goal. I've donated myself. Uh, I asked that Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, my followers on there, if you can donate a little bit too, that would be appreciated. This ain't about me. This ain't about you. This is about the people there that are suffering, that just had their whole lives turned upside down. They've lost their homes. They've lost their loved ones. Um, I think it would be a disservice as an American not to try to help these people. I would give them my last $5, um, to help them out. So, and I know that they would be appreciative. You can go to mercury1.com. That's Glenn Beck's um, charity for that too. He's got a donate page on there too, where you can donate through the Red Cross. Like to uh, make sure that the donations are actually going to the cause. So I've checked these out before. Um, I would mention it to my audience on my podcast. Um, Dr. Wayne Dreyer, the Kane family, Barnes, and numerous other families have spent their lives over the last 40 years in Hawaii, there in parts of Maui. They've spent every summer since they were children, and when something like this happens to a childhood, a place where you go in your childhood, it's devastating. Uh, So I think we should try to help these people out as much as we can. Again, we are Americans, and we always come to help each other's aid. So I think that we should try to help as much as possible. That way, they know that they're not in it alone. That there's people out here that actually care and is trying to help them. Okay. Again, this podcast is completely um, about the devastation in Maui. I, no political, no nothing. I just want to talk about Maui. I just learned that a senior living facility um, was found burnt as well. So you know, um, I pray for the loved ones that were in there. We'll find out what happened, but so far, I think the count is 114 found, and we still have uh, over 1,000 missing. So with the cadaver dogs out there looking for remains and loved ones out there. These people, I saw the videos, and I'm sure a lot of that you people did too. The amount of devastation there is is really unreal. You have people that lost their homes, lost their clothes, lost their families. I mean, I can just not fathom anything like that in our lifetime. Um, Again, I'm not going to get political, but I think there could have been safeguards to prevent a lot of the devastation there. But I'm gonna read a report. Maui officials confirmed Friday that the wildfire death toll has risen up to at least 114, while the search for hundreds of missing people continued in this historic coastal port city of Lahaina, which was almost completely destroyed by the blaze. Only 6 of the victims have so far been publicly identified. Hawaii Governor Josh Green and his wife, Jamie Green, held an emotional live stream address Friday night from Honolulu. For generations, Lahaina beauty culture and rich history drew artists, musicians, and visitors from all over the world. Jamie Green said, tragically, it took less than a single day for us to lose Lahaina in the deadliest fire of our country has seen in more than a century. The fire was one of the 4 that broke out on the island on August 8th, Green said. Friday, that at least 2,200 structures have been destroyed and another 500 damaged in the blaze at, at an estimated cost of about $6 billion. 40 search dogs and 470 search and rescue workers have been deployed. Far more devastating than any material loss is the loss of precious lives, the governor said, of mothers, fathers, grandparents, sons, and daughters. Search and recovery teams check charred buildings and cars in the aftermath of the Maui wildfires in Lahaina, Hawaii, August 18th, 2023. Earlier in the day, Maui Mayor Richard Bison told reporters that about 60% of the Lahaina burn area had been canvassed for human by several hundred several hundred federal search and rescue personnel using dozens of cadaver dogs. Now, these cadaver dogs, they don't. The reason why it's taken so long is because these cadaver dogs can only work for about 20 minutes and need about another 20-minute break. So they're constantly rotating. This um, that's one of the reasons why it's taken so long. A FEMA spokesperson Wednesday estimated that the number of people unaccounted for has been between 1,100 and 1,300. 6 forensic anthropologists with the Department of Defense POW MIA accounting agency are assisting in gathering and identifying the human remains. The Pentagon said in a statement on Friday. The group has experience in verifying DNA from long lost service members, many of whom died as long ago as World War II. Marcus Coleman, a senior official from FEMA, said Friday about 100 federal respon one I'm sorry, 1,000 federal responders are now on the ground in Maui. And then here they post something here on how to help those affected by Maui wildfires. About 6,000 residents have registered for federal assistance, Coleman said. 6,000. 6,000 people have registered for assistance. Adding that FEMA has paid out about 5.6 million so far to 2,000 households. Authorities hope to empty crowded, uncomfortable group shelters by early next week. That's another thing. I mean, if you haven't seen the videos, you need to go check it out. Whoever's, you know, news organizations post some of these videos because it's just amazing how these people are working together. They're sharing. Um, I, I think I think the whole world can learn something by this tragedy on how we can work together to get past a tragedy like this. They're working together. There's people cooking, sharing food, sharing water. I mean, the love that is going on right now to share with one another is incredible, and we need to learn from that. We need, as a human race, need to learn to love one another like these people are doing. Contracts with the hotels will last for at least 7 months, but could easily be extended. He said, service providers at the properties will offer meals, counseling, financial assistance, and other disaster aids. Uh, And a lot of the hotels are doing this. Of course, I just told you, but Airbnb is doing this as well. They're uh, giving volunteering some properties for some of these displaced families. Excuse me. The governor has said at least 1,000 hotel rooms have been set aside for displaced residents and first, uh, first responders. In addition, again, Airbnb said its nonprofit wing will provide properties for 1,000 people. Bison said he will name a temporary replacement on Monday for Herman on. I'm going to chop this up, and I'm sorry. Uh, Andea, the Maui Emergency Management Agency administrator, who abruptly resigned on Thursday after defending a decision not to sound the outdoor sirens during the fire, which that's still going on. Uh, Andea said this week that he had no regrets about not deploying the the system because he feared it could have caused people to go to Mauka, Mauika. I'm sorry, I'm chopping this up. Mauika, a Hawaiian term that can mean toward the mountain or inland. Uh, with today, I mean, you could have done the sirens again. I'm not getting political. I'm just trying to, just bring this up. But you could have went over the loudspeaker and said everybody to, get as far as away from the fire as you can in the opposite direction. I'm just saying. If that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire. He explains. He stepped down Thursday, a day later. His resignation letter was brief and had no mention of the health reasons that county officials cited for his resignation. Sorry, chopping this all up. The decision was not The decision not to use the silent sirens, coupled with water shortages that hampered um, firefighters and an escape route clogged with vehicles that were overran by flames, has brought intense criticism from many residents following the deadliest wildfire in the U.S. in more than a century. Hawaii has what it touts as the largest system of outdoor alert sirens in the world, created after a 1946 tsunami that killed more than 150 on the Big Island. Its website says that they for may be used to alert for fires. Yeah, it should have. I mean, you have to warn anytime there's some kind of world event or tratis catastrophic event, you have to get the warning out. That way people can, get to safety and gather up whatever they need. A lot of people just left with what they had on their backs. It's a shame that this happened, and I feel for the families. It's a travesty, and I'm not telling you nothing new. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. On Wednesday, um, Dea vigorously defended his qualifications for the job, which he's held since 2017. He said he was not appointed, but had been vetted, took a civil service exam, and was interviewed by seasoned emergency managers. Andea said that he had previously been a deputy director of the Maui County Department of Housing and Human Concerns and chief of staff for former Maui County Mayor Alan Arquara Arqua for 11 years. I'm sorry. I'm probably chopping this name up, and I apologize. Alan Arakawa Wawa. I'm sorry, for 11 years. During that time, he said uh, he often reported to emergency operations centers and participated in numerous trainings. So to say that I'm not qualified, I think is incorrect, he said. Um, the cause of the fire remains under investigation. The Justice Department confirmed Friday it has deployed federal emergency response teams to assist in that investigation. They include investigators from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the United States Marshal Service. Hawaii Attorney General Ann Lopez said Thursday that an outside organization will conduct an impartial, independent review of the government's response. Native Hawaiians and others from Lahaina said earlier Friday they worry Green is moving too quickly to rebuild what was lost while the grief is still raw. Yeah, they can't even think of, let me stop right there. They, they can't think about rebuilding anything right now. The grief is way too raw, like I just pointed out. Um, we have to find the other people missing, and I think that people should be able to rebuild their homes and what they lost. I don't care if we have to do fundraisers all year long. I'm sorry, all year long, um, or once a big bash once a year. I don't know. I don't know about those things. I wouldn't even know how to plan such a thing. But I think they need more than just a GoFundMe, Red Cross, the federal government. They're going to need our help. And I think we should help them rebuild their homes and what they lost. I don't think any of this should be up even talked about development and this and that. That should be the last thing off of people's minds and mouths. Thing is, we find the people missing and have some, and if there's closures, there's closure. Okay, but people need to find their loved ones, and then once they have that step in place, then we can figure out on how we can help them rebuild. Eh, that exactly what I said, how we can help them rebuild, okay? Because I tell you what, $700 per family is not enough to get these guys back on their feet and rebuild. They're gonna need some help, lots of help. The fire only occurred 10 days ago, and many people are still in shock and mourning. They called green to give residents time to grieve, provide community leaders with recovery decision-making roles, and comply with open records laws amid distrust in the federal government response to the disaster. Since the flames confused much of Lahaina, Lahaina, locals have feared a rebuilt town could become even more oriented towards wealthy investors, which is true. I mean, I would think. Let me put it this way: predatory buying is wrong. The people still own that land that they had their house on. Okay, that is theirs. That is not up for sale. The only thing that they should be talking about as far as building is rebuilding homes, shopping centers, grocery stores, stuff like that, that were already pre-existing that own. That's why we pay for insurance, okay? I know this is gonna take a toll on insurance, but these, that's why people paid insurance. This is a catastrophic event caused by a tsunami with a wildfire that sparked out right now, as we know from maybe a power line that maybe caught some grass on fire and with the high winds just ignited the fire. Far as I know, that's what I've been told, and that's what I've been um, seeing reported. I'm not like again. I'm not going to get into the political side of this. I think I've touched on some of this already. Uh, as far as politically, um, They say that, Joe Biden and the First Lady President Joe Biden and the First Lady Jill Biden are scheduled to visit the island on Monday. I hope they stay in Honolulu, because if they go here, they will everything will stop because of the Secret Service. There'll become a no-fly zone, no helicopters. Everything would just be spread out, and nobody could be able to get in there and continue their job and search for these people's loved ones, friends, families, grandparents, sons, daughters. This is a travesty. I'm not telling you nothing new. So to give you all that, Glenn Beck's got a charity link on his mercury1.org website. If you would like to contribute to that, um, Dr. Wayne Dyer has the GoFundMe page. You can also get in touch with the Red Cross. As of right now, uh, the GoFundMe page that Dr. Wayne Dyer set up was before I started the show was 1,800,000. Their goal is $2 million. Okay, a lot of people are sending supplies over there, clothing. If you were wanting to give some towels, clothing, or any kind of supplies to this, I would find an organization that would have drop off and pick, or that could you can drop off in support of people in Hawaii. Again, these are our brothers and sisters. Even though they live in Hawaii, they're still U.S. citizens, and we have to take care of one another. that that is a we always come together in crisis, and I this we need to go above and beyond in this crisis. I do believe we need, but with your help, let's try to surpass that goal of $2 million. Okay, that GoFundMe page of Dr. Wayne Dryer's. Go to GoFundMe, look up Dr. Wayne Dyer, um, Maui wildfire. Actually, it says help the people of Lahaina and West Maui. Okay. That's the title of it. Let's try to surpass the 2 million mark. Help me with that. Okay. Help me with that. There's people in need. I'm sure they need medicines. They need clothes, water, food. Because this stuff's going to run out, folks. They're using it up right now. So we need something to replenish what they're using so they don't run out. Okay. This is very devastating. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. Again, if you want to support Glenn Beck and his um, charity there, go to mercury1.org, or you can do the Red Cross. You can donate through the Red Cross, or you can go to the GoFundMe page and Dr. Wayne Dryer to help the people of West Maui. Okay. If you do like us, give us a like and share. Subscribe. If you would like to send me any kind of information, you can send it to me at info at project8podcast.com. So with that said, um, give us a like, share. We've already had 300 reactions. I think I've only been on for maybe 3 weeks now, with several different posts and whatnot. Um, so which 300 reactions is not a whole lot, but it's a milestone for me, and I'll take it. Okay. Thank you all for all your support, your continuing support. And if you want to email me directly, email me steve.mann at project8podcast.com. And if you like, I'm going to put this on the website too. So today, if you want to visit our website, you go to www.project8podcast.com. I'm Steve Mann. I'm your host. Let's pray for the people in Hawaii. Let's help them out. Let's surpass that GoFundMe goal. Okay, help me to do that. If it's $1, $5, $10, whatever you want. Okay, let's surpass that $2 million goal for these people in West Maui. So God love you, Godspeed, and I'll see you later tonight.